everyone, my name is Max and welcome back to my channel. Happy Vlogmas Day 14! Cheers! So this morning, as you saw, I went into town. I went to the post office to make some returns, to the library to return some books, to the charity shop to buy some books, surprise surprise, and to Sainsbury's to pick up a few bits for the next few days. So it is now around 12:30 and I'm having my lunch, and the whole of last night and the whole of today when I've been walking around town and stuff, I've been reading / listening to A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. This is so good, let me tell you. I just want to keep reading and reading. I don't want to put it down, which is problematic because I've got laundry to do and I need to pack. What really amazes me the most about it is how ridiculously clever it is. Like, as the story unfolds and as the main character Pip speaks to more and more people, so many different theories pop up and so many different speculations, and there are so many people that could have done it, that could have been the actual killer, because the plot of the story is that she's reinvestigating a disappearance / murder that happened 5 years previously, and the police think they know who did it, but she believes that it's not that person. So I've just hit part 3, which is page 284. Yesterday I was on page 50, so I've done a fair amount of reading in the last 24 hours. It's so good though, and the audiobook is really good. I'm listening to it on Spotify, and there are a few different people that voice the different characters. The different voices are really good. And the way that they've produced it so that when Pip is doing her log thing, where she's speaking into a recording app, it sounds like muffled and walkie-talkie like, which is really cool. I think I've said that in a previous vlog. So, I'm excited to finish this soon. I think there's at least 100 more pages though, if not a little bit more. Oh my god, Holly Jackson is so young looking! I'm like scoffing how many cheese on toast because I was so hungry when I got back home. Tired now though. I was in town much longer than I planned to be. I think I got there at about 9:30 and I got home at about 12. So what's that? 2.5 hours. Actually, that's not too bad. I thought it was longer. But I am more tired now this afternoon than I thought I would be. So, I've already put a load of laundry on. I think what I might do is put that load of laundry to dry, then have a rest for a bit before I start trying to get into packing and stuff. I need a bit of a rest first. Oh, also, I forgot to say, I bought some books. Now, I was in the charity shop and I discovered a whole bunch of Cassandra Clare books. We've got, oh, and they were all £2 each. The only thing is we've got book 1 of the Infernal Devices series, that's it. Book 1 of the Infernal Devices series, and then book 2 to 6 of the Mortal Instruments series. And I know, well, I believe that you're meant to start with the Mortal Instruments series, or you're at least meant to start with the first 3 of the Mortal Instruments series. You know what? Let's just Google it. So the information that I'm gathering says, I think I was right actually. So you are meant to start with the Mortal Instruments series, which is problematic because the ones that I got today of the Mortal Instruments series start from book 2. So you're meant to start with the Mortal Instruments number 1, then number 2, then number 3. Then you're meant to move over to the Infernal Devices series, which is the one that I have the first one of. Then, oh, not what I was expecting. Then Mortal Instruments number 4, then Infernal Devices number 2, then Mortal Instruments number 5, then Infernal Devices number 3, then Mortal Instruments 6, and then the Bane Chronicles, which I have not heard of. So when I eventually begin these, what I need is the Mortal Instruments book 1. But I'm really excited. I actually watched a bunch of the TV show when it was originally coming out, and so I know I'm gonna like the world and the world building of this series. I just hope I like the writing style. So yeah, I'm super chuffed with that. I've been wanting to read these for a really long time actually, and when I saw a whole line of them in the charity shop, I was like, yes, it is time. Time to chill for a bit now before I... Oh no, I'm gonna put the laundry to dry first and then chill.
Few inches later.
So I was just hanging out my second load of laundry, and I'm towards the end of chapter 35, and I'm crying. Something really sad just happened, and I'm not going to say what it is because I don't want to spoilers, but it's really sad, and I just wanted to record my reaction of the moment. God, this book is so good. And it's rare for me that I can be engaged enough in a story to listen to an audiobook without having the physical words in front of me. Usually, in order to be able to absorb the audio, I have to be seeing it at the same time. And that's not happening with this book. Like, I'm so engaged in the story that I can be doing stuff like hanging laundry out and listening to the audiobook, and that's enough for me to absorb what's happening. But oh my gosh, it's just so sad.
20 minutes later.
Hey friends, so it's nearly 3 now. I had a good rest slash like was sorting out laundry in between and waiting for the laundry and stuff. And now it's like 10 to 3, so I'm gonna start packing. And I thought I would talk a little bit about the task of packing when you're an autistic ADHDer, because I have had to do a lot of packing in my life, and I've kind of got to grips with the way that I need to do it for me to be able to do it. So the first thing that I do to kind of ease myself into the task, because going straight into it is just way too much for me, is to write myself a packing list. So I have loads of these from different things that I've needed to pack for over the years. So the way that I start is to go back to my most recent, or one of my recent packing lists, and basically copy up all of the things that are still relevant in this packing. So I've already done that yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. So this means that for the most part, I've made all the decisions already. So when I'm actually doing the packing process, I don't have to be actively making decisions, which honestly is part of the issue for me with packing, is the decision fatigue, because decisions take so much focus, cognitive energy, working memory, and for me, those things are sometimes hard to come by. And I often don't have the capacity to effort those things to stay with my brain for very long periods of time. So it really helps me to write the lists. I also always do little boxes next to my items on my list so that I can not only tick in the box, but I also then highlight the object, item, whatever, so that it's a lot easier for my brain to see and distinguish between what are the things that I've already got and what are the things that I still need to get. I am also always concerned that I'm going to forget something. And I think that's a product of being an ADHDer and knowing my brain well enough to know that unless I really take time on packing and make sure I've got my lists and make sure I'm ticking things off and highlighting things and making sure I'm taking a number of days to pack, I'm likely to forget something. If I don't do those things, I'm likely to forget something. So, for that reason, I take a number of days. And when I say it takes me days to pack, I don't mean I'm spending like full days packing, because obviously it's now nearly 3 and I'm probably going to stop doing this around 4, half 4. But the reason why I do that is because dragging that task over a few days and making sure I start the process numerous days beforehand means that that task is kind of in the back of my mind throughout the period of time of that number of days. And so that means that it's more likely that if I've forgotten to put something on my list, it might pop into my head in those days. Like, it's almost giving my brain a longer period of time to be able to process what's actually happening, what are the things that I'm going to need, like having the time to imagine myself in that place that I'm packing to go to, and just giving space for things to pop into my head that I may not have thought of. I think the thing with being an autistic ADHDer and travelling is that it's so counterintuitive to be organised, and it's so counterintuitive to plan this much. But I have learnt that if I don't, I will forget stuff. So even though the organisation and the planning does not come naturally to me, it's almost a trauma response to know that I have to do it that way. And because I'm autistic, and I know this about myself, it's like I can't not do it this way now, because I know doing these things helps me and doing it in this way helps me. So it's almost like I've developed this mindset of, oh my gosh, if I don't do it in this way, then I'm going to forget something. Like I don't have that trust of my brain for things to be able to go smoothly without planning to the nth degree. But at the end of the day, I think it's okay. If this is what works for me, I'm sharing, because if you're an autistic ADHDer, then these things might work for you. If it works for me, then it works for me, and I'm just going to continue doing it. Also, just some general neurodivergent travelling tips. Bring fabrics, and like I have this yellow bandana that I use to be able to put over the top of lamps and like lights that are too bright. Obviously do this carefully because you don't want to be setting anything on fire, but generally light bulbs don't get that hot nowadays. So bring something that you can put over lights that might be disturbing to you, or that might cause sensory overwhelm, that are too bright. Bring enough stim toys, and bring a variety of stim toys, because at different times you need different types of sensation. And I think remembering to pack a few bits and bobs that are like things that make things more comfortable for you. Even if it's a teddy, a candle for a specific scent that you know is comfortable for you, so that you can create your sensory space when you arrive. That stuff really goes a long way. Even if you're not neurodivergent, like, these things can make the transition into a new space so much smoother. So that would be my sensory tip. I'm gonna actually pack now, because really what I'm doing is procrastinating. Hey friends, so quick update. I am almost done packing the majority of things. What I've left until last is all of my clothing. So all of my other bits and bobs, toiletries, sensory things, books, journal, glasses. Did I already say toiletries? Everything else but clothing. I've already done shoes. Clothing is the last thing to be done because I haven't made decisions about what clothes I'm bringing yet. So my preference was to get all of those other bits out of the way first, and then I can make myself an afternoon coffee, throw a bunch of clothes onto my bed and make some decisions. But I'm going to end the vlog here because I'd like to get editing soon. So thank you so much for joining me for day 14. Wait, day 14? That's 2 weeks! We've done 2 weeks of Vlogmas! I can't believe that didn't click for me this morning. 2 weeks of Vlogmas. Thanks so much for joining me for 2 weeks of Vlogmas. Also, very quickly before I go, I'm almost done with A Good Girl's Guide to Murder. The person who actually did the thing is someone that I had thought of, but I had thought of so many people. I had suspected everyone at different points in this book, but I'm almost at the end, so more twists could happen. I'll update you tomorrow, but so far this is such a good book and such a good ending. I'm so pleased that I chose to read this, and I'm excited for future me to read the other 2 books in this trilogy. I hope you've enjoyed today's vlog. If you did, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel because it really helps me, and I will see you tomorrow. I just knocked over my camera by doing that, oopsie.